women's basketball is brought to you by Invesco QQQ, official ETF of the Big East Conference. We've got the stretch run of women's basketball upon us with a pair of teams searching for a win. For Xavier, it's been over a calendar year since their last conference victory. For Providence, they're winless since the last time they played the Musketeers a couple weeks ago. Everybody, welcome inside Providence alongside Pam Roker, Adam Giardino with you. And Pam, right off the top, Providence, they need a win. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Sure do, and Erin Bath has been very transparent with us. She said, we're in a rut. We've got to find a way to do the little things well in order to get this turned around, and she hopes it's going to start this afternoon.
Last time out for Providence, they fell to Butler where one player took over, and Xavier's got an opportunity with Michaela Scarlett to have that same thing happen today.
Yeah, Michaela Scarlett is a dynamic guard. She is a go-to player for the Musketeers. She's got a high motor, according to Coach Bath, and she can really do it all. She's on the Big East Weekly Honor Roll this past week, and she's going to be a key figure for Coach Billy Chambers today.
And for Providence, when you look at the stat sheet, Marta Morales-Romero might not jump out at you, but that doesn't minimize the role that she plays for the Friars. Yeah,
when Coach Bath talks about doing the little things well, it can really start with Morales-Romero. She's a shooting guard that's had to move into the point guard position. It shows her versatility. She can score at all 3 levels. She's got to take care of the ball, and she's got to run this offense that Coach Bath wants to be a little more up-tempo.
Coming up next, we've got the starting lineup and the tip-off from Providence. It's the Friars taking on the Musketeers next on the Big East Digital Network. Back at Mullany Gymnasium here in Providence, matchup between Xavier and the Providence College Friars. You see that record for Xavier. They would love to pick up a second win and the first win in about 2 months. There's a look at the bench for the Xavier Musketeers. Billy Chambers, in her first season, she's going up against a head coach in Erin Bath, also in her first season. Couple of newbies to the Big East as we are underway. It's Providence and their alternate grays going up against the dark blue of Xavier. And right off the bounce, it's Olivia Olson going to work.
That's a great start for Olson. She's got to get touches. She scores at a high percentage down low. That's a great sign for the Friars.
We're expecting to see Xavier come out and play press for, maybe 40 minutes as we take a look at the Xavier starting lineups. It'll be key to see whether these starters can keep up the pace with that kind of athleticism for 40 minutes.
Yeah, and they're missing one of their key players. Nyla Blackford, leading rebounder, is out today. She is not in uniform and not available. So Xavier's going to have to find those rebounds and that front line help elsewhere.
Ifosa takes it hard into the lane, contact, and now it's a break the other way. Raj with a great feed, and Xavier ties it up.
Xavier wants to play up-tempo, transition defense, one of the keys Coach Bath outlined for us earlier this week.
Providence coming in off of 4 straight losses. Their last victory was against Xavier on the road. Emily Archibald misfiring on a clean look.
Yeah, 69-60. Providence won the road contest. Xavier actually had a halftime lead, so it was a comeback by the Friars.
Frankly, is closer than most for Xavier. The record is what it is, but the margin also pretty large. Their scoring margin, they're being outscored by 20 points per game this season.
Yeah, Xavier struggled to score the basketball. They average about 52 points a game. Providence does a great job on the defensive end. It could be a chess match today, and it's all going to come down to whether the Friars can have really productive trips offensively.
Right, because Providence held their last two opponents to under 60 points. When you hold an opponent in the 50s, you expect to win, and Erin Bath said as much, but Providence just couldn't get the offense going those two games. Morales Romero pivots in the lane, her scoop shot, no, and a strong rebound as Xavier comes up with it.
A lot of those little things Coach Bath talked about are on the offensive end. Providence has done a great job rebounding the basketball. They've done a great job in their half-court D. She's looking for energy. We'll see a couple subs coming in the game early.
A quartet coming in, as maybe that's a statement from Erin Bath, not liking the first couple of minutes of this one.
Yeah, she said she's going to go with her gut. She's going to go with the players that are showing fire. She's not afraid to use rookies, and she's got the depth there. Adam, she's got the ability to go deep into her bench.
Yeah. She sent that message at the end of last game, the loss to Butler. She liked what her freshmen were doing, and there is a look at Bath, who was pleased you asked her about her daughter's 22nd birthday when we chatted with her earlier this week. Most parents, she was gloating at her daughter is going to be completing her MRI imaging degree in May, taking the footsteps not of her mother but her aunt, who's an imaging specialist in New Jersey. Vandoma with a strong rebound, but a second chance never materializes. Scarlett on the deck, and Eddie comes up with the held ball situation.
Yeah, good heads up by Eddie. Vandoma with the nice weak side board just didn't protect it. Talk to the bigs, you want them to get it up near their chin, protect it with their elbows. Vandoma kept the basketball low. Opportunistic defense from the Musketeers.
This is about 3 minutes in. I think the type of game Xavier would be okay playing for 40 minutes.
Yeah, the pace, I think, is in Xavier's favor right now. We know the Friars want to play a little faster, a little more up-tempo.
Kick into the corner. Lopez lets it fly, and she knocks it down.
Lopez, one of the freshmen, she's playing 31 minutes a game, most of any freshman in the Big East Conference. Good range, great three-point stroke.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Xavier, the bucket's an answer for Scott for Providence College. You almost wonder if Xavier knew what they had but weren't entirely sure with Lopez, because she came off the bench her first career game and has been in the starting lineup ever since.
It didn't take them long to figure it out.
Exactly.
You mentioned Coach Chambers in her first year at Xavier, but she's got 10 years experience as the former head coach at Iona. There's another look at the Lopez three. Just a little slow coming out in contest, and Nariah Scott doing it on the baseline. She's got a great pull-up jumper, great mid-range game.
Scott with just 3 points in the first matchup between these two teams, so that would be a lovely addition for Providence if they could get her going. Morales Romero knocks down a three.
Yeah, good job by Afosa. Grace with the assist. Good shot by Morales Romero. Providence is going to show some of that pressure. They're going to get back in half court, man-to-man defense.
Nice job by Archibald there.
It was. And defending dribble penetration, one of the keys Coach Bath outlined for us. Here's a look at Afosa on the push. Good find with Morales beyond the arc.
She's a 35% three-point shooter. Bath would love it if she'd call her own number a little bit more. She's the on-ball handler for most of her set, so it's not her natural tendency. She's used to being a bit more off the ball. Great post defense by Lopez, and it forces a shuffle from Afosa.
Yeah, the travel, that really hurt the Friars in that first quarter against Butler. One of those little things Coach Bath was talking about. Got to be locked in, have to be ready to play. This is a hungry Musketeer squad. They've shown a lot of resilience this year. They don't play like a team that's had only one victory this season.
I asked Erin Bath about the tape of Xavier's most recent game. It was against UConn. We got free throws coming up. Strong take there from Michaela Scarlett. That game against UConn, Xavier got down by almost 60 points at one point. And that was the thing that Erin Bath pointed out, is she said, hey, first of all, we were given our lunch by UConn earlier this year. And secondly, when we saw that tape of Xavier, they didn't quit. They were still diving for loose balls, and so she knows that Xavier is going to be ready to pick up a win at some point this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach Chambers building a culture of competitiveness. Coach Chambers said, we just didn't show up competitive enough against the Huskies, but the Huskies have done that to a lot of opponents, not only this year, but for decades. And one thing we know about this Xavier squad is they're going to battle. They have a lot of resilience. Providence is prepared for a fight. They're going to have to match that emotion.
75% free throw shooter. It's an empty trip to the line, though, for Michaela Scarlett. Had a chance to tie this game early.
Defensive pressure by Mayo.
Now the entry to Olsen, and just enough off the mark for a turnover. Another turnover for the Friars in the early going. And we'll step aside here in Providence. An early chess match between a couple teams in search of a victory.
At Providence College, there's a will to grow, explore, question, learn, a need to connect, to discover the truth that defines us, a purpose with passion, a legacy of distinction and faith, carried forward by those who dare to seek and discover. For those who seek more.
We are not just student athletes.
We are advocates for a better world. Our platform extends beyond the basketball court.
And we will use it to be the change, to champion inclusion and break down barriers.
On our campuses.
And in our communities.
It's more than a game for us.
It's a call to action.
To use our collective voice. To make an impact.
As Big East student athletes.
To stand up for what is right, and most importantly,
to be the change.
To be the change.
There's a fuller picture to bring into focus. A way to live more truthfully, more faithfully, more mindfully, purposefully, thoughtfully, more fully. Because when you open your eyes, when you look around and take in the full picture, you'll discover this is so much more than you ever thought possible.
Fresh, warm hot dogs.
When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh, warm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
Early 2-point lead for the Friars here in the opening quarter. Chiefs Pam Broker and Madam Giardino. A couple of teams that have a newer rivalry in the Big East that was formed about a decade ago. And for these two schools, it started out in favor of Xavier, but now it's Providence chipping away.
Yeah, Providence has had the edge recently. We mentioned they won the first contest. Being able to sweep an opponent, that's something Coach Bath has talked about. That's another one of those milestones for the Friars. Friars have already eclipsed their biggest win total from last year, but that's part of the growth process.
We're expecting a close one, that's for sure. If history is any indication, Providence and Xavier are going to be playing competitive basketball into the fourth quarter here this afternoon.
Providence with some full court pressure.
Nice crowd and good energy
Great
in this
crowd
building.
Today.
Absolutely. Been a string of really nice crowds for Providence games of late. Mayo off the bench, scoops it in.
And that's one of the things Coach Chambers talked about. They've got isolation plays set up. That was the version for Mayo. We're going to see the same thing for Scarlett. That's a good take in a one-on-one situation and good steal out of the press.
Great breakup by Scarlett, and it's back-to-back buckets for Mayo. She's fouled by Eddie and goes to the line.
And that's exactly what Providence doesn't want to happen. Live ball turnovers. Another look, there's an isolation. Mayo one-on-one, free throw line extended. Good strong take, and then off the steal, Mayo again.
Zeddy a couple of times on defense there. She heads to the bench after picking up the foul. Worth noting that the first foul of the game that put Michaela Scarlett at the line, it was Olivia Olson that picked it up. So she's someone that anytime you pick up one, teams are thinking, all right, let's get a second on her.
Yeah, no doubt, and that's a tough matchup for Olson. Olson against Scarlett. There's a deflection.
And a pickup by Mayo. And another deflected ball back. Here is Scarlett. Ball tracked down by Bryn Farrell. Active hands, moving feet. Good defense both ways so far. Flicked into Olsen into the post.
Yeah, that's good pick and roll. Good pass by Farrell. Great hands by Olsen. Olsen needs to touch the basketball for the Friars. She scored 11 points in the Butler game, Adam, but she was limited to 17 minutes of play due to foul trouble. The Friars need her on the floor.
No doubt about that. Gets her ankles broken as she pops back up. She's all right on the fantastic move, though, by Lopez.
Got to be able to defend that dribble penetration.
Broad cuts off Scott. Entered into Olsen. Her shot is bothered, and it's rebounded by Mayo.
Good defense by Lopez.
Lopez has been the best player on the court for 7 minutes so far in this one. Clean look at three. Rebounded by Ifosa. Take by Farrell. She's got Friars on top.
Yeah, it's one of the aspects of Farrell's game that she's really worked on. She's a great three-point shooter. Really worked on developing that ability to put the ball on the floor. She's strong, 6-foot guard, can absorb contact. Great read, great take.
You could see where she was that SEC recruit going down to University of Florida. Never found her footing in a couple of seasons there. Just under 3 points per game, but she has found a home here in Providence. It's a rare miss at the free throw line, but it's kept alive by Surtat Tata. Back into the post. Surtat Tata has it bounce out.
Now she had a good look. That offense from the Musketeers. Coach Chambers with the call.
Lopez will try another three. Yeah.
Wow, that's pure. Great looking shot. Friars miscommunication on the defensive end. Both Friars went with the ball handler, leaving Lopez wide open.
No doubt she's in rhythm. Farrell after the press break. Tipped out by Mayo as she was grappling with Surtat Tata.
That's a great take by Farrell. She's the second best three-point shooter in Big East games. But talk about good three-point shooting. How about Lopez? She doesn't need much time. If she has her feet set, a dangerous shooter from long distance.
She's made both that she's tried here today. Doesn't look like a 27% three-point shooter. That's the number coming in, though, for her. She's got 8, and her career high is only 13. Head fake by Surtat Tata. Great recovery defense by the Musketeers as Scott tees it up.
Good long rebound.
Morales Romero not quitting on the play, but Mayo collects. There's 3 combined fouls in this one. Bit of early officiating by the refs, letting these two teams go at it. Scarlett gets bumped. She'll go to the line for the second time today.
And mismatch created. Scarlett's a tough guard for the frontline players of the Friars. Alex Scarlett, one of the most consistent players, leading scorer for the Musketeers. She averages 14 points on the season, but she's been hot lately. Averaged 17 points over the last 5 games.
And just 3 games ago, had a career-high 26 against Creighton on 9 of 20 shooting. one that can take over a game. And she sees a couple of free throws go in here. Xavier expands its lead. Scott with the travel.
Yes, Friars just shuffled their feet.
For a moment, it looked like Emily Archibald was ready to check in. And now she does check in for Ugne Surtat-Tata.
But smaller Friar team on the floor with Olsen out. Archibald can shift and play inside.
Olsen playing 6 minutes here in the opening quarter, but a little bit of protecting her with the one foul. Lopez, shot altered by Farrell.
Give Farrell a block on that.
Second of the game for the Friars. Archibald has one as well. Fosa kicks to Archibald.
That's a great look. Afosa dribble penetration. She drew 2 defenders. Archibald, good discipline, stayed spotted up. Good unselfish play. Ah, great steal.
Retreating defense by Fosa, not giving up on the play. Shot clock is off. Archibald deep in the post. Wanted the and one, but she'll get 2 free throws.
Providence turning defense into an offensive opportunity. Good push up court.
Shot clock was off, but I think given where that pass entered, that's a great take.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good look. High percentage shot.
That was something that last time out for Providence, it was glaring on the tape. Aaron Bass said they missed about 15 layups that they wanted and should have.
Now, Providence had a really tough second quarter against Butler. They only scored 6 points. They did miss a number of shots inside the paint. That's part of doing the little things, the focus Coach Bath talked about.
Raj picks up the loose ball, and it's Xavier with the opportunity to take a lead into the second quarter.
Mayo.
Lopez, a wayward shot, rebounded by Archibald. And we're tied at 15 after 1 quarter of play. Xavier led by 8 points from Daniela Lopez, and they had a lead over Providence. But the Friars fight back, and we'll be back for second quarter action right around the corner for Providence. All tied up after 10 minutes of play here in Providence. The Friars and Musketeers doing battle. Some late season women's basketball action. Join Megan Caffrey, Kim Adams, Isis Young, and Lisa Carlin as they take you inside Big East women's basketball each week on the In the Bonus podcast. Those two are downloading it right now. You can find In the Bonus wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. 15 points for both teams in that first quarter. More than half of them, 8 of them, coming for Xavier from Daniela Lopez.
Well, Daniela Lopez has had an immediate impact in this program. She started 21 of 23 of their games this year, and we've seen her put on a show early. You mentioned the 8 points. She's got good range. She's really aware. She's around the basketball. She runs the floor well. Great future ahead of this young lady, and you love it when freshmen come in and they're ready to go. She's had an immediate impact. Coach Chambers very high on her future.
So the 8 points so far for Lopez. She enters with back-to-back double-digit point performances. That's the second time this year she's done that. She hasn't had 10-plus points in 3 straight games, and it seems like a foregone conclusion that that'll be the case for her here today.
Yeah, freshmen are getting great experience. They're playing 50% of the minutes for Xavier. Lopez, a perfect example of that, and her confidence is growing.
One of those pieces in this rebuild for the Musketeers. New head coach in charge. Scott gives the Friars the lead.
Yeah, Scott gives them so much versatility. A big guard. She's got a great pull-up game. She can hit it from 3. That time, a nice take. Got herself about a 6 to 8 foot shot. High percentage look. Scarlett's always looking to get downhill.
Seems like she's in top gear even when she's not. Shot clock winds down. Purvis gets it off.
Archibald with the block from behind.
Efosa back the other way, and an offensive foul on Providence's senior.
Yeah, it's a tough break, but good transition defense by the Musketeers.
There's a look at Michaela Scarlett. Over 14 a game, 3 rebounds, shooting 35% from the field on the season.
Yeah, she's really bought into Coach Chambers' system. Coach Chambers said, Michaela will talk to me during the game. They'll talk about where the best spots to get isolations for her are. You see her playing both ends of the court. She plays about 33 minutes a game, so just one of the key contributors for the Musketeers' attack.
And I think if you asked her about, does she have the green light? And she said, if there was a different color I could create for her, I'd give her that too.
Yeah, I love that. Doug Bruno said it to me one time. He talked about his players having the greenest of green lights,
yeah.
And I think Michaela Scarlett has that for Xavier.
Tight defense by Daniela Lopez. She gets tangled up with Farrell outside the arc.
Olsen back into the basketball game.
We saw her play about 6 minutes in that opening quarter. A bit of a rest, and now Providence's stat sheet stuffer is back in there.
Well, they need her. She's the leading scorer for the Friars. That time, a good read.
Yeah.
Field by Purvis.
Not the straight double team, but helping at just the right moment to come over. Scarlett tees it up.
Well, that's just great rotation. That's probably the best half-court sequence Xavier's had. Tremendous rotation of the basketball. Scarlett with the great shot.
She's got 5, Mayo's got 5, and Daniela Smith with 8. That accounts for all points from 3 players for the Musketeers. Efosa wanted the answer, doesn't get it. Scarlett and Archibald to the court. No surprise there from those 2 players being the first to the deck.
Yeah, Archibald plays hard. Going to the floor, we're used to seeing that. Here's this rotation of the basketball. Unselfish play, make the extra pass. I like Scarlett's game so far. She really lets the offense come to her. We don't see her forcing the action.
Just 1 for 3 from the field, but forced the issue and has gotten to the free throw line twice as well. Mayo. Efosa grabbing another rebound. That's her 4th here in this first half. She's the leader in this game.
And they got Purvis with the tag on the ball handler.
Efosa averages 5 rebounds per game, so She's really made it a point of emphasis here today to get her nose on the glass.
The pressure Xavier's putting on the Providence ball handlers.
Olsen finishes through contact, and these two teams continue to jockey back and forth with the lead.
Yeah, it was good post-entry pass by Archibald. Emily Archibald, Olsen down low. Good, decisive drop-step move, and the finish.
So the foul goes against Lopez, and that's where the foul that she committed on Farrell outside the arc becomes less palatable when a second foul now puts her to the bench with 7 minutes to go before halftime. Tough bounce. A reset. Morales-Romero doesn't catch anything.
Morales-Romero says, my bad. It was a good look by Olsen. Xavier basketball. Friars in a 2-3 zone.
Julia Garcia-Raj running the point. Coach is reminding her how good of a job she's done at the point guard position, but there's a turnover. And Raj commits the foul on Ifosa, who lowered her head and went right to the tin.
Yeah, I love this 2-3 zone because the Friars have great size up top with Ifosa and Morales-Romero. They've got good size. Morales-Romero gets her hand on the basketball. Ifosa goes right to the basket.
In real time, it was hard to tell if it was maybe close to being an offensive foul, but there you could see Rod just tripped on her way defending Ifosa. Never extended that off arm to initiate contact.
Good job by Ifosa to capitalize. 2-3 zone again. I love the size the Friars have.
First time Providence has had a 3-point lead so far. Xavier has had the lead for most of this, but another turnover by the Musketeers. Just the 5th, but things starting to slide back in Providence's favor.
That 2-3 zone has bothered Xavier. Coach Bath mixing things up. One of the things Billy Chambers talked about was trying to disrupt the ball handlers. No, Kylie Shepard is out. Friars having a couple different players play the post, but Bryn Farrell, no problem down low. She's so creative around the basket.
Change up the scouting report. Everyone knows in this league that Bryn Farrell can shoot it. She's got to add new layers to her game, and she did there. Strong rebound by Olsen, skying over everybody. But a pass in the feet of Farrell turns it to the Musketeers.
Again, one of the little things Coach was talking about, valuing the basketball.
Butler, rather, Xavier is +4 in the turnover department so far. Mayo, a little short. Home run ball, Olsen with the catch. She gets the bump, she's got the basket.
Oh, that's a great look, and Coach Bath was talking to us about this, said Liv Olsen can run the floor, my big can run the floor. That time she's rewarded. Tremendous catch in traffic, good look, great pass by Morales-Romero. Good job, good concentration, catches a little contact. Olsen, another chance for a 3-point play.
Aaron Bath knew that Xavier is going to press for the majority of this game. That's their defensive identity. So she has a couple of new press break situations drawn up for this game specifically. And she said, ideally, you break the press and you can just heave it to Olsen. Now, that wasn't a traditional press break. That wasn't an inbound play. But same result that you want is Olsen running down court.
That's great. Great job. And you always like to reward the bigs that are going to get out and run.
Ifosa comes up with it. Providence on the break. And Ifosa finishes over the top of Purvis. The Friars on an 11-0 run. For the better part of 3 minutes, it's been all Providence here at home. They've got a double-digit lead over the Musketeers. Gracie Fosa and company leading the way.
Setbacks can feel like a mountain to climb. At Rothman Orthopedics, our team of top-notch orthopedic experts are here to get you back to doing what you love, because we specialize in you. We're not just about recovery, we're about rewriting your story. With specialized physicians and unwavering support, we help you rise above adversity. Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic provider of athletes.
Fresh, warm hot dogs.
When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh, warm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
We are not just student athletes.
We are advocates for a better world. Our platform extends beyond the basketball court.
And we will use it to be the change. To champion inclusion and break down barriers.
On our campuses.
And in our communities.
It's more than a game for us.
It's a call to action.
To use our collective voice to make an impact.
As Big East student athletes.
To stand up for what is right, and most importantly,
to be the change.
To be the change.
Yeah, the time keeps ticking. Life's mad short, so we gotta keep living. Hey, hey, so turn it up. Hey, hey, don't ever stop. When the party, when the fun, bring the juice. All the haters, all the players, cut them loose. It's time to shine, best believe. Yeah, it's time to shine, yes indeed. Grab my girls, now let's roll. We're turning it up. Yeah, it's time to go. Where the party at? Gonna bring some soul. Yeah, we hit 'em with the good stuff. The good stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, where the party at? Where the party at?
Run here in the second quarter for the Providence College Friars, 11-0 over the last 3 minutes, and as a result, Pam, a 10-point lead.
Yes, great answer by the Friars. They've outscored Xavier 13-3 in this second quarter. Liv Olson, she's got to get touches. She can score it down low. She's a high percentage shooter. The Friars really need her if they're going to be successful. She's got to stay on the court. She stayed out of foul trouble. We've seen Coach Bath manage that foul trouble. She got the one early. She took her out, put her back in. Second quarter explosion. Friars playing really well. If you're Xavier right now, you've got to find an answer for this 2-3 zone.
Olivia Olson sat for about 4 minutes at the end of the first quarter into the start of the second. She has come out fresh as a daisy in quarter number 2. The Friars have writ large 5 of 7 shooting and another turnover by the Musketeers.
Yeah, the Friars don't play the zone defense very often, but it is effective right now. It's really rattled the Xavier attack.
Great trap over midcourt and the tie-up from Scarlett.
Farrell did a good job to hang on to that basketball. It is possession Friars. And Coach Chambers talked about really trying to disrupt the ball handlers.
Another deep catch by Olson, who gets knocked down from behind. Xavier Cavalia picks up the foul for Xavier, freshman from Georgia, the country of, part of the U18 program over there, averaged 18 points per game and 20 rebounds per game.
Wow.
A dominant 6'4" post presence over there in the FIBA World Championship. Olson cashing in.
Yeah, 11 points early for Olson.
Double-digit scoring for the 17th time this season.
Yeah, great read by Archibald.
And now she's off and running. Scarlett looks to draw the charge. Archibald, 2 bites at the apple, no. But it's Ifosa, and they swing it to Morales. That's no. A fourth chance here for the Friars.
Great tenacity on the offensive glass.
The turnover as Mayo picks the pocket.
Yeah, Olsen got stuck down low. Zone defense is really going to help with dribble penetration.
Another bit of hands in the passing lane. Archibald. And this just looked like Xavier is not ready to go up against this type of defense, and until they start to show some success, there's no reason for Providence to switch out of it.
Yeah, no reason at all. It's a young team. This has neutralized Scarlett and her ability to go one-on-one in those isolation situations.
Scarlett dribbles all the way in, but she's erased by Olsen. Shot clock winds down, and a shot clock violation.
Yeah, Scarlett found a way to get some penetration, but she ended up in too much traffic. Take another look. Scarlett, good job on the handle. Olsen, just a terrific shot blocker, leading shot blocker for the Friars. Yeah, statistically really climbing the charts.
And really nice job of not biting on the initial up fake. There was a chance that Scarlett was going to take the shot earlier, then continued on, and Olsen was there and waiting.
Friars turn it over. Guard to guard pass. It's too high for Archibald.
The scoreless drought in excess of 5 minutes now for the Musketeers. As they bring Daniela Lopez back in with 2 fouls, they can't keep her on the bench much longer. And Lopez knows she can't defend, so Afosa takes it right at her.
Wow, what a great move by Grace Afosa. Good hands, good deflection out of the 2-3 zone. Afosa coast to coast.
Harris in on Olsen, and she denies another one. That's a 6th block for the Friars here in the first half.
Afosa, we've seen Grace. She's so important to the Friars' attack. She missed 11 games earlier this year. She is so explosive. And Olivia Olsen, one of the best shot blockers in the Big East.
Kick out from Harris. Scarlett can't end the drought as it's rebounded by Olsen.
Well, that's a good rebound in traffic.
6 blocks in the first half for the Friars. We've got 22 minutes left, and the season high as a team is 8. Morales Romero. Afosa was begging for it. Nice box out by Anea Harris.
Yes, it was. Providence is staying in the zone on a make or a miss shot. Knowing the scouting report is huge.
No from Lopez. Olsen tips it to herself.
Got such great timing, great hands, good jumping ability.
Closing in on 7 minutes without a point now for the Musketeers. A wayward pass from Archibald as she kicked it out on the entry. Sarah Bandoma checks in, protecting Olsen for the final minute 18 of this first half.
Coach Bath, you see her talking to Olivia Olsen. She said, I'm hard on her, I coach her hard, but she knows how good her big junior is. She knows how much the Friars need her, and Olivia Olsen has been up to the challenge.
Another miss for the Musketeers. And a travel turns it over.
Turnovers mounting for both teams.
This 15-0 run is part of a larger 21-5 run spanning to the end of the first quarter. Xavier's just one of their last 13 from the field. Into Bandoma, and she picks up the offensive foul. Nice job holding the ground by Xavier.
A good job taking that charge. Archibald with the pass. Mandoma squares up. Good call by the official.
Shoulder right in the chest, right in the sternum to knock her down. Xavier hasn't scored for about 7.5 minutes, and that was desperately needed from the Musketeers.
That Purvis with the big shot. Purvis leads Xavier in steals and assists. That time came up with the big bucket.
Providence looks to the bench, says, hey, 1 shot, 1 second differential between shot and game clock. Yeah, Purvis transferred in from University of Houston after 3 seasons there. She helped the Cougars to a couple of WNIT appearances. Morales Romero brings us back to a 13-point game. Scarlett's shot never comes close. Might have been a 7th block in this first half for the Friars. And it's a big-time run to close out the second quarter. 17-3, part of a 19-6 outburst for the Friars in the second. They're up 34-21 at home, looking to snap a 4-game skid. They're in the driver's seat.
Let's have some fun before we wrap this episode because it's Valentine's Day when this is dropping. Ooh, everyone just shimmy. When I said well, Lisa's going to be playing soccer on Valentine's Day instead of going out to. Sorry,
my Valentine is money. I'm going to be working.
Hey,
I know that's right, Kim. I know that's right, Kim. Chase the bag. I'll love you back.
We're going to hand out some Valentines, though. Okay, so we're going to go around the horn. Everyone's got a little Valentine to give out, a player that we've been admiring all season long. Lisa, I'm going to start with you. Who's your Valentine?
So I'm giving my metaphorical flowers on Valentine's Day to Lucy Olson with the Villanova Wildcats. This is a player that has had a lot of pressure on her this year to perform and to keep her team afloat and to continue to be consistent throughout the entirety of games, every single practice. And she helped her team get a couple big wins. They've solidified themselves in third place in the Big East standings. And she's getting my flower, not because of all this great work that she does, scoring baskets and controlling the tempo of the game and really taking a lot of the brunt of what Villanova basketball does well and what they don't do well. But she's getting my flowers because she has fun. She has so much fun. She is enjoying herself when she's out there. She just looks like a kid that came home from school and is like, let's go shoot in the driveway. And she just wants to play. And for the love of the game and the joy of it, and also being very talented, Lucy Olson, be my Valentine.
So nice. You're a little sentimental. So Lisa's a little sentimental with her Valentine. We love that. Kim, who are you giving yours to?
Keep the Emma Ronsick vibes rolling. I have just been so impressed with Emma Ronsick. For whatever reason, I know it's the big three, but I feel like there was always a little bit more talk about Lauren Jensen and Morgan Molly. But I feel like Emma's been the most consistent this season. She's just been solid. She's, as you mentioned before the interview, averaging 18 a game. She's averaging 5 more points a game than she did last year. Her consistency is so impressive to me. I just looked up and down her numbers from the season. There's only been 3 games this season where she scored in single digits. She's been efficient. She's shooting 48% from the field, 88% from the free throw line, where she gets to a lot. And I think she is just a huge part of why Creighton is a top 20 team, why they're second in the Big East, why they can give UConn a run, why they can make another deep March Madness run like we saw 2 seasons ago. So no metaphor for me. I'm here with some real flowers. These are for Emma Ronsick. Emma Ronsick, happy birthday.
Be mine.
Oh, we could have done this in the interview, Kim. We could have saved your present. We could have made you the first one. That was a real presentation right there.
Yeah, Kim's beating everyone with real flowers. Ice, who's your Valentine?
Listen, guys. My Valentine gets 7.5 rebounds a game. My Valentine has the best 17-foot jump shot in the league. Not just in terms of post players, but also guards. My Valentine can score on anyone in the paint. My Valentine is Liza Carlin. I love watching Liza Carlin play all season. She's had all but 1 game where she scored double figures. She's had multiple 25-plus games. She had a 30 ball and a career high. She's 4th in scoring, 5th in rebounding, 4th in field goal percentage. I mean, just all across the charts, she's just been efficient. And I feel like if Marquette has any opportunity to make a run in the postseason, it's going to be behind her. I think that she's just become that leader, that Miss Consistent for this team. And I just thoroughly enjoy watching her score the basketball. Like, she just does it at a high level. And so she's been my Valentine. Liza, unfortunately, I don't have a plant or flowers to give you.
The basketball.
My one over here is dying.
Yeah.
Oh. We'll figure it out, Liza. I kind of like that ball. As I'm looking in here, I'm not prepared. I'm unprepared, but I'll send you something on me.
If you went to the gift shop,
There's the heart.
or otherwise known as the bookstore,
There you go.
Again. Well, my Valentine is the best because we saved the best for last. Yes, my Valentine, I'm going to give some love to St. John's Unique Drake. I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about her story. 6th Woman of the Year last year, and what she has come on to do this season has been incredible. You look at her points average, she's more than doubled her production from last season. Last year, she was averaging 8.6 points per game. This year, she's averaging just under 19 a game, which is absolutely incredible. She's 3rd in the league in scoring. Yeah, and it's just, she has stepped into this role just seamlessly. And I think it was really fun. I got to go out to St. John's before the season started. And I sat down during the Big East preseason tour, and I got to talk to her. And she had this like confident swag about her that was still humble at the same time. And I think that that's the perfect way to describe how you see her play as well, where she knows what she's doing. She knows she's talented, but there's still like a humility about her when you're watching her on the court. So I have a Big East mug that I can give her.
With the spoon.
With the spoon, yeah, it has some peanut butter in it. So she can get that if she's not allergic to nuts. That's what my Valentine's get.
Real
We love all the
flowers,
Big
metaphorical
We love it.
flowers, a gift to come, some peanut butter. I mean, good gifts. Who wouldn't want to be our Valentines?
Still at halftime in Providence, a 13-point lead for the Friars. They went on an explosive run. 15-zip over 7.5 minutes to pull away from the Musketeers. We've got highlights and stats just around the corner, plus the start of half number 2 for Providence.
Fresh, warm hot dogs.
When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh, warm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
There's a fuller picture to bring into focus. A way to live more truthfully, more faithfully, more mindfully, purposefully, thoughtfully, more fully. Because when you open your eyes, when you look around and take in the full picture, you'll discover this is so much more than you ever thought possible.
In the world of athletes, where every move counts, setbacks can feel like a mountain to climb. At Rothman Orthopedics, our team of top-notch orthopedic experts are here to get you back to doing what you love, because we specialize in you. We're not just about recovery, we're about rewriting your story. With specialized physicians and unwavering support, we help you rise above adversity. Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic provider of athletes.
At Providence College, there's a will to grow, explore, question, learn, a need to connect, to discover the truth that defines us, a purpose with passion, A legacy of distinction and faith, carried forward by those who dare to seek and discover. For those who seek more.
Top tick, yeah, the time keeps ticking. Life's mad short, so we gotta keep living. Hey, hey, so turn it up. Hey, hey, don't never stop. When the party, when the fun, bring the juice. All the haters, all the players, cut 'em loose. It's time to shine, best believe. Yeah, it's time to shine, yes indeed. We're my girls, now let's roll. We're turning it up, yeah, it's time to go. Where the party at? Gonna bring some soul. Yeah, we hit 'em with the good stuff, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, where the party at? Where the party at?
34-21 our score here in Providence as we welcome you back to Alumni Hall alongside Pam Broker, Adam Giardino with you. And let's take a look at the highlights. It was Xavier getting out to an early lead and then all Providence after that.
Yeah, definitely a tale of two quarters. Pretty crazy. Xavier got off to the hot start. Their rookie Lopez, 8 early points, scored inside, showed her 3-point range. Really got off to a fast start. The leading scorer for the Musketeers, Scarlett, held to only 5 first-half points. They're going to have to find a way to get her going. And for the Friars, Adam, they really had a great overall start to the game, and it started with getting the basketball to Olivia Olson. Olson scores that at a high percentage. She's got to get touches. She scored it inside. She stayed out of foul trouble. They rewarded her for running the floor. She had 18 points in the first contest against Xavier, 11 points here already today. And Afosa turning defense into offense. Afosa with 6 first-half points, a great sign for Providence.
A lot of the turnovers for Xavier in that first half were live ball turnovers, which helped lead to some fast break points. Providence 10-5 advantage in that department, and they've got the advantage in just about every department at this point. Save for 3-point shooting. That's one area where Providence hasn't done particularly well today, but it hasn't mattered.
Hasn't mattered because PC's had 20 of the 34 points have been scored in the paint, which is always a key stat for the Friars when they're successful. Providence, no surprise, sticking with the 2-3 zone. Scarlett with the shake creates a little bit of room. Purvis with the good rebound.
No second chance points from these two teams in the opening half, but a chance for Xavier with a second crack at it here. Scarlett tees it up from deep, but leaves it short, and a 5th rebound for Olson.
Yeah, Scarlett had a great look. Friars not getting out to contest. That could be by design. They could be giving her the 3, playing the drive.
An entry, the mismatch, but Olson leaves it short as Lopez was just trying to stay out of more foul trouble. Purvis turns the corner, gets shut down on the baseline. It's a kick to Lopez, who swirls out of the bank. But it's stripped away and kept alive for Xavier.
Quick hands by Purvis. Archibald had it, just didn't secure it.
Raj with a fastball. Kept alive. Purvis continues her dribble, bounces it into a double team for a steal.
Yeah, just too tight. No room for that pass.
Archibald sets her feet. Excellent extra pass to Morales Romero, who can't nail the 3, but she gets her own miss and gets one easy from close.
Yeah, good job following her shot. Morales Romero had the first look from 3. Mentioned it couldn't get it to fall, but good job on the follow.
7 points for her. That's right at her season average.
Xavier trying to get the basketball in that post area, play a little inside out. That time Kirkavalia takes a 15-foot shot.
Basically a free throw, and not a particularly depth free throw shooter this season. Strong take by Ufosa, and Xavier Cavalia with the foul, knocking her to the deck.
Adam, that is a great crossover dribble by Ufosa. So low, so explosive. Bam. Whew. Doesn't need much room, and she doesn't need much time.
You got that weight shifted from Purvis on the wrong foot, left her in the dust.
At 78% from the line.
A couple of the key players for the Friars in terms of Brent Farrell, Gracie Bosa, both really strong free throw shooters.
So important for Afosa because she is the one player on the Friars that can really draw fouls, get to the free throw line. We've seen it here today.
She made her freebies.
Look at the movement. Xavier just really deliberate against the 2-3 zone.
Scarlett looks at the rim, drop pass down. Olsen with another denial. And that ties the season high 8 blocked shots for the Friars. Now back the other way. Olsen gets on the floor for it. Looking perhaps for a timeout instead. It's a jump ball.
Possession to the Friars. Here's a look at Scarlett. That's a great dump pass.
It
Olsen
is.
Just too good on the block.
It's a great feed. And against most other teams in the Big East, you're looking at a clean shot at the rim.
I think if Kirkavalia goes to the left hand there, she gets the shot off. She kept it in her right. Tempting for Olsen.
Get a hold coming around the screen, and that's a third foul on Ajanique Mayo, who had just entered off the bench.
Hands by Farrell.
Just able to tightrope before getting swiped by Mayo for a quick 4th foul.
That's going to force Coach Chambers to go to the bench.
Mayo, the 2020-2021 Max Preps Connecticut High School Player of the Year out of Notre Dame High School in West Haven, Connecticut. She came over with the coaching staff from Iona, but began her college career at Marquette. Was a mid-year transfer last year to Iona. Didn't play a game for either school, and so she is a redshirt freshman beginning this year with Xavier. She's come on strong lately, but the foul is hampering her today. Ifosa tries the elbow jumper. Archibald, second look. Ifosa keeps it going. And it's finally picked up by Scarlett. And now it's Raj off to the races. Morales Romero gets whistled for the foul. Free throws coming up from Anea Harris.
It looked like Raj got away with a travel.
Thought so too. Ball just bounced up and got tied up in her midsection as she was on the break.
Take another look. A tough call for Providence.
Some say it's a travel, some say that's European flair for the Barcelona native. Free throw no good from Harris, who's a 70% free throw shooter on the season. Small sample coming in. She did not play against Providence back on January 27th. She was unavailable. And so Billy Chambers thought that she could be a real X factor here today, especially on the defensive end.
A little more depth on that front line. Here's full court press. You've got to score to be able to set the press.
Deep into the post for Olsen, who adds to her game high 13 points.
Yeah, Olsen shoots it over 50% from the floor. She gets to touch that low. That's an easy drop, step, and finish.
13 points on 5 of 7 shooting from the field. And a teardrop altered by Olsen, even though she doesn't get the block shot.
Yeah, Foster kept that rebound alive.
Morales Romero absorbs a bump and finishes through the contact.
Wow, acrobatic play. Morales Romero goes to the right hand from a tough angle, going to force a Xavier timeout.
9 points for Morales Romero. That's the flashiest of the bunch from her so far, and the lead has ballooned to 20. Providence. They are rolling right now at home.
In the world of athletes, where every move counts, setbacks can feel like a mountain to climb. At Rothman Orthopedics, our team of top-notch orthopedic experts are here to get you back to doing what you love, because we specialize in you. We're not just about recovery, we're about rewriting your story. With specialized physicians and unwavering support, we help you rise above adversity. Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic provider of athletes.
Fresh, warm hot dogs.
When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh farm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
We are not just student athletes.
We are advocates for a better world. Our platform extends beyond the basketball court.
And we will use it to be the change. To champion inclusion and break down barriers.
On our campuses.
And in our communities.
It's more than a game for us.
It's a call to action.
To use our collective voice to make an impact.
As Big East student athletes.
To stand up for what is right, and most importantly,
to be the change.
To be the change.
Yeah, the time keeps ticking. Life's mad short, so we gotta keep living. Hey, hey, so turn it up. Hey, hey, don't never stop. When the party, when the fun, bring the juice. All the haters, all the players coming loose. It's time to shine, best believe. Yeah, it's time to shine, yes indeed. We're my girls, now let's roll. We're turning it up, yeah, it's time to go. Where the party at? Gonna bring some soul. Yeah, we hit it with the good stuff, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, where the party at? Where the party at?
Would you like a chance to attend either the Big East men's or women's basketball tournament this year for you and a guest? Scan that, the QR code on your screen to enter the Big East Road Trip Sweepstakes. Must be 18 years or older to be eligible. You saw the score on the screen. It's a 20-point lead for the Providence College Friars. Defense has been anchoring them here today.
That sure has. You think about block shots, 8 block shots for the Friars today. Olivia Olson, you know, the key performer for the Friars. She's been doing it all year. And in terms of block shots, Adam, that takes her to 54 blocks this year, 131 for her career.
Impressive stuff for Olson, who comes in second in the conference in blocks per game at just under 2 per contest. That's going to go up. She's hunting down another double-double with all the rebounds that she's been picking up as well. She's got 13 points.
But the Friars have just been a presence inside. We've seen Archibald with a couple blocks. Obviously Olson. Friars have good size, even at the guard position.
Bryn Farrow with the foul. That's her first.
Been a pretty clean game overall, though we see Mayo in foul trouble for the Musketeers.
Scarlett bothered into the lane, knocked away. Archibald the other way, rolls off the rim. The follow-up no good. Morales Romero tips it out to Farrell.
Well, Emily Archibald with the great steal, good hands. Again, a lot of deflections out of this 2-3 zone.
Ifosa, another trick in her bag of them. Pull-up jumper.
She's just so smooth. 15-foot jumper, no problem for Ifosa.
Second player in double figures scoring, 10 points for her to go along with 13 for Olson. That shot back rimmed, tracked down by Archibald. We talked about the 8 blocks for Providence matching a season high. They did it against Vermont on November 10th, on December 16th against Sacred Heart, and now here today. So the most blocks in a game in Big East play this season as Olson goes back to the line.
Olson with her first offensive rebound.
And that brings us to a break in the action. Friars are doubling up the Musketeers. They've picked up right where they left off in the second here in the third.
At Providence College, there's a will to grow, explore, question, learn, a need to connect, to discover the truth that defines us, a purpose with passion, a legacy of distinction and faith, carried forward by those who dare to seek and discover. For those who seek more.
There's a fuller picture to bring into focus. A way to live more truthfully, more faithfully, more mindfully, purposefully, thoughtfully, more fully. Because when you open your eyes, when you look around and take in the full picture, you'll discover this is so much more than you ever thought possible.
This game was tied at 15 after one quarter. It is no longer tied. Providence in control midway through the third quarter. And one of the real reasons for the Friars' success today and all season has been the evolution of senior Gracie Fosa.
Yeah, Gracie Fosa, one of those players that bought in early to Coach Bath and the new system, the new philosophy, the new culture. She's arguably the best athlete on the Friars squad, and she brings a physicality to the game. But on both the offensive and the defensive end, she's been a solid performer who's playing the best basketball of her career right now.
She played 5 games at the start of the season, didn't play for the next 11 games between end of November and early January, and now they've had her back for about 10 games. And so it actually goes both ways, where they learned to play without her, and now she's back healthy at full strength, and they've loved playing with her.
Yeah, she's a difference maker. She's a stat line stuffer, and she's had a huge impact here today, and the Friars need her. They need Gracie Fosa, they need Olivia Olson to play big almost nightly if they're going to be successful.
Those are your 2 leading scorers today for the Friars, combining for 25 points on 8 of 14 shooting, including 9 of 10 at the free throw line.
4 new players in for the Friars. Coach Bath keeping fresh legs on the court.
When you open up a lead like this, it allows you to insert your freshmen, get some more experience for players further down in the rotation. 3 knocked down by Lopez, and she does get into double figures for the 3rd straight game now.
Yeah, Billy Chambers going back with Lopez. Slow rotation by the Friars. You've got to find 44 on the perimeter. We'll look at Sophie Hall, 5'11", first-year player.
Out of Carver, Minnesota. Great entry, but a travel by Serta Tata.
Another look at the three-pointer, good inside outlook. And again, Friars just slow to react.
First time in the career for Lopez with 3 straight double-figure scoring nights. Rebounded by Scott. Providence now doubling up Xavier in rebounds as well, 34-17. Great catch by Serta Tata, but she Gets whistled for the offensive foul as Anaya Harris hits the deck.
That tough call. Coach Bath didn't agree with that call. I think Harris was set. Liberteda with the strong move down low, but picks up the charge.
Great soft touch. That's a scorer's touch by Scarlett into the lane. Finish like that, you can see why she's the leading scorer. Morales Romero gets knocked over in the double team, as that's Taylor Smith, the grad student from Ole Miss.
Yeah, Scarlett's had to work for everything today. Individual offense finds some room, and you mentioned it, good soft touch.
Fifth foul in the quarter, so Morales Romero goes to the free throw line, looking to break into double-digit scoring herself here. Providence goes for the near full line change, swapping 4 players back in, so it's the starting 5 on the court right now for Providence. Ten points for Morales Romero. A transfer herself from Wake Forest. 2 seasons, 2 WNIT appearances with the Demon Deacons.
That was a great switch defensively. Archibald and Morales Romero.
Into the lane, and it catches nothing there from Taylor Smith. Mentioned on the previous possession for Smith, it's 3 seasons at Ole Miss, but this is her 3rd season with Xavier, her 6th year in college. Had a medical redshirt mixed in there, the extra year for the pandemic. So this will wrap up the career, year 6 for Taylor Smith. Pull-up jumper, Bryn Farrell, no. Lopez the rebound.
Farrell's been quiet offensively. That was a good take, good look.
Baseline jumper, rebounded by Ifosa.
No Musketeers hitting the offensive boards.
It was a trio of Friars and very nearly a carry there from Morales Romero. Been a group effort on the glass for Providence. They have 4 players with 6 rebounds or more, led by 7 from Olivia Olson. Keep it right here on the timeout from Providence College. Not liking the way that possession was going with 12 in the shot clock.
Yeah, good timeout by Coach Bath. Really raising the bar for the Friars. Good look at her in the huddle. We've talked about her energy, her passion. She's reinvigorated this Providence Friar women's basketball program.
If you were to block that scoreboard at the bottom and just watch Erin Bath, and you told me 1 possession game late in the 4th quarter, that's the way she's coaching right now.
Yeah, that's the intensity. This is a team trying to get out of a rut. We've talked about them, losers of 4 Big East games in a row. They've got to turn it around. They're at home. They have a great opportunity. She really has talked about they've got to be ready to do the little things well, Adam, and I don't think it matters if it's a tie game or they're up by 20.
And when chatting with her this week, a phrase coaches don't like to hear is must-win game. And we threw that at her. And she said, heck yeah, this is a must-win game. We've got to figure it out. 3-pointer misses for Grace Ifosa. So Providence not shying away from expectations, from accountability, from what they need to do. And coach saying, yeah, we got to come out of this one with the victory. And they've played that way so far.
Well, and she meant that with the utmost respect to Xavier.
Yeah.
She talked about them being hungry, Xavier being a team that battles, knowing that Coach Chambers and her staff are going to get it done and going to turn things around. But the fact remains, Xavier's a team that has not won a Big East game yet this year. So she did talk about this being a must-win.
She said that Xavier is hungry to the point where it's scary. But Xavier staring down the barrel of perhaps a 37 straight Big East defeat. But this and 1 jumper from Ifosa.
Yeah, that's a good take by Ifosa. Again, so athletic, the ability to stop on a dime and elevate.
13 for Ifosa, 15 for Olsen, 10 for Morales Romero. I think more than anything, Providence just thrilled to crack the 50-point mark. Last couple of games, they played great defense, but they sat in the 40s on offense.
Yeah, against Georgetown and against Butler.
Into Olsen. Nice job by Lopez. The follow-up, though, draws the foul.
Yeah, rare miss by Olsen down low. Looked like she never had the basketball set in her hand. Olsen will have a chance to earn 2 at the free throw line.
Third foul on Julia Garcia-Raj, who we started to talk about a little bit earlier, point guard freshman for Xavier, that they have to keep reminding her how good of a job that she's doing. The coaching staff says, we know the looks that she is earning for her teammates, and the fact that the supporting cast aren't knocking down some of those open shots isn't a reflection on Raj. It's important to remind her that, hey, you're doing the right stuff. Keep doing it. We like the assist to turnover ratio over the last couple of games. Aaron Bath continuing to coach them up here in the third.
Yeah, this is a good response from Providence coming off the Butler loss. Friars have really responded. They've got a lot more work to do, but certainly after 3 quarters, got to be happy with how they showed up this afternoon.
Xavier Cabelia begins the swing around to Scarlett. Farrell looks to respond with a 3. And just about final shot time for Xavier here in the third.
Yeah, Farrell had a look. Defensively, the Friars have to find Michaela Scarlett on the perimeter.
Had been just 1 of 6 from 3-point range before that make, but she's into double figures with 10.
Friars check out of the 2-3 zone. They're in their man-to-man look.
For this final possession, Xavier Cabelia with the travel, and she was bothered by Archibald. Both teams with 15 turnovers through 3 quarters. A foul by Scarlett and some late free throws coming up for Ifosa.
A little bit of a late whistle, but Ifosa picks up the foul.
I think the officials wanted to let it go, but then the ball started heading out of bounds, and you got to blow the whistle at some point. Again, tied at 15 after 1 quarter. And now it's been a 38-15 roll by Providence since then.
Yeah, that switch to the 2-3 zone really changed this basketball game.
Morales wanted the cherry on top to end things here in the third. Instead, it's a missed 3, but a comfortable cushion for Providence as they don't quit. With their foot on the gas here in the third, the lead grows by another 10 points since halftime. Kayla Scarlett, leading scorer for Xavier, continues to do work. 23-point advantage for Providence with 10 minutes to go in this one. Live from Providence. There's a look at what happened yesterday around the Big East. A couple of games on Friday, a couple of games in front of you here from Saturday, including a stunner from Philadelphia.
Yeah, Coach Parkinson and the Butler Bulldogs, big win over the Villanova Wildcats. Butler coming alive late in the season. And then the Seton Hall Pirates with their win. A look at the standings. This is a big opportunity for Providence to move to 6-8. And Adam, that's really exciting when you think about last year. The Friars only managed 4 Big East wins. They're going to move to 6 victories on the season with 4 regular season games yet to play.
They head to Villanova next, so certainly a challenge. But then they've got St. John's and Seton Hall, which at this stage of the season, I'm sure Providence says, hey, we're going to be in those games. We want to be in those games. Those are 2 more wins that we can get before the Friars finish up at home on March 2nd against UConn. Turnover and a takeaway for Morales Romero. She zips it over to Scott. A 3-ball. Sophie Hall, a nice job staying active off the bench.
And you mentioned the Friars head to Villanova. That's going to be a revenge game for the Wildcats. The Friars victorious here in overtime back on January 24th, 82-76. So expect a good one down in Philadelphia.
But as you saw Villanova's going to be hungry coming in off of a stunning loss. I'm sure they didn't have a loss at home to a 3-10 Butler Bulldogs team in their cards for this weekend, but that's what happened.
Yeah, Coach Denise Dillon has done an outstanding job. Lucy Olson is having an amazing year. You're right. Anything can happen in Big East play, though. A lot of the coaches this year have commented that this is the best parity they've seen in recent years in the conference.
Yeah, and that includes the fact that UConn, notwithstanding, they're still 14-0, but it's not the whitewashing UConn Huskies of old. They've been in some closer games this season. We're getting a review here with contact to the head. And it was Anaya Harris that drew some contact. We'll be back with the result of this replay. Early stages of quarter 4.
At Providence College, there's a will to grow. Explore. Question. Learn. A need to connect. To discover the truth that defines us. A purpose with passion. A legacy of distinction and faith. Carried forward by those who dare to seek and discover. For those who seek more.
We are not just student athletes.
We are advocates for a better world. Our platform extends beyond the basketball court.
And we will use it to be the change. To champion inclusion and break down barriers.
On our campuses.
And in our communities.
It's more than a game for us.
It's a call to action.
To use our collective voice to make an impact
as Big East student athletes.
To stand up for what is right, and most importantly,
to be the change.
To be the change.
There's a fuller picture to bring into focus. A way to live more truthfully, more faithfully, more mindfully, purposefully, thoughtfully, more fully. Because when you open your eyes, when you look around and take in the full picture, you'll discover this is so much more than you ever thought possible.
Fresh, warm hot dogs.
When I'm not selling hot dogs, I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Fresh, warm hot dogs straight out of my torso. One for you, one for you. Oh, you're a messy one.
Cool, right? So cool.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovations.
Hot dogs. Fresh farm hot dogs.
Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
23-point lead for the home team, just early stages of quarter number 4. She's Pam Roker and Madam Giardino. Here's a look at the player we highlighted at the top, Marta Morales Romero. She's been electric today.
Yeah, she's done a little bit of everything, very efficient from the floor. 10 points, 3 rebounds. She's all over the stat sheet. You see the acrobatic finish. And she really set the tone for the Friars. She plays the top of that 2-3 zone. Morales Romero having a great all-around game, and that's been a big key in the Friars' success today as well. She's taken care of the basketball, and she's really executed the offense.
Before hitting the break, we were looking at the scoreboard, the standings in the Big East. How about tomorrow at noon, national TV? Top 2 teams in the Big East, the only 2 ranked teams in the Big East. UConn and Creighton do battle.
That's going to be a good one. Number 20, Creighton, at number 15, UConn. A noon start. That's going to be on Fox. Going to be a good battle and maybe an early preview of the Big East Championship. You never know. A lot of basketball yet to play.
Those 2 teams pretty well entrenched in the top 2 spots in the standings. 3 down in the standings. There's going to be some movement between now and the end of the season, but those top 2, it feels like UConn and Creighton are pretty solid in those 2 spots.
Yeah, they've separated themselves.
And Creighton has their sights set on revenge. A 44-point home loss in January to UConn, 94-50. I was out there in Omaha for that game, and it was every bit a 44-point blowout. It was a thorough, dominating performance by the Huskies. Sophie Hall with a pull-up jumper. Just a touch too strong as Scarlett snatches the board.
A lot of substitutions in for the Friars. Good example of their depth. Xavier still a little stagnant against this 2-3 zone. There's some good penetration.
Yeah, it's a good look by Mayo, and she's a touch too strong. She's been on the bench for a large swath of the second half, picking up a quick 4th foul. No from Scott. Archibald, yes, on the rebound. Scott. Oh, I think
he had a second opportunity.
How about this one? Her bench is all but hollering at her to take a shot. She does, and she misses that.
Oh, Archibald doing a great job on the boards. Her 9th rebound of the game.
Hall will try another. Yes.
Wow. How about Emily Archibald on that sequence? 2 offensive rebounds, the assist to Hall. Sophie Hall, nice 3-pointer from the corner.
Again, 4 players for Providence collecting a lion's share of the boards. Archibald leading the way with 9, but it's a quartet of Friars with 7 or more rebounds. That's a 9th block shot, which is the new single game high for Providence this season.
Well, and you mentioned that rebounding effort. That's something Coach Bath has been so proud of. She's been proud of the balance. Here's a look at the Archibald pass to Hall. Great job staying spotted up. But you mentioned the number of Friars rebounding the basketball. They spend a lot of time on it, and she really believes defensive rebounding is the key. Friars stepping up today. How about Hall with the dump? Oh.
That won't fall. The follow-up will for good measure. Serta Tata probably wish she had made the initial shot, but she'll take the and one.
A lot of emotion out of the rookies. Take another look. Sophie Hall, dribble penetration, nice look down low. Serta Tata not able to get the first one, but stays with it.
From Lithuania, part of the U19 World Cup team that played in mid-July out in Madrid. She had 10 points per game, about 8 rebounds per game overseas. And a new face into the lineup here for the Friars. That's Bella McLaughlin.
Friars back to the 2-3 zone.
Hall gets whistled for the trip. Helps Lopez up after.
Good, great sportsmanship. Only 2 fouls on the Friars, so Xavier ball.
McLaughlin, part of the group at the end of the game against Butler that sparked a couple of empty possessions by the Bulldogs. It was great defense intensity, but There was a group of freshmen that just couldn't make enough shots down the stretch. Raj with the miss, Sertat Tata the board. All shut down by Lopez. Into the post. Another basket for Sertat Tata.
Yeah, points in the paint. Friars 30-plus points in the paint today. A real key, again, great low post positioning.
Another turnover.
Purvis loses the handle.
Yeah. Providence once again doubling up the Musketeers. It was 15 points in the first quarter for Xavier. They've scored just 15 points in the last 25 minutes since. Wallen shakes her defender. Sertat Tata was gunning for a career-high 7 points, but misses. Smith, drop step through. It stays with Xavier.
Don't know if they're going to give them Providence a block shot on that. Archibald's going to get a break, well deserved.
Might be the last that we see from her. It's been a heck of a game. A typical Emily Archibald game.
No question about it. She plays so hard, plays both ends. Friars a little small right now.
Sertat Tata, who's got the responsibility of the 6'4" post player, Xavier Cavalia for Xavier. Working hard in the post. Purvis! Finally, something goes right for the Musketeers. Smiles on the bench for Xavier. They've needed something like that for a while.
Yeah, bank shot. But if you're Providence, you want to stay aggressive. You want to take care of the ball. If you use a little clock, it's a bonus. Coach Bath is saying slow down. They want to use a little more clock than that.
Xavier Cavalia, if she's got that in her game, look out.
Three-point range.
And a timeout by Aaron Bath. A 25-point lead for the Friars with just over 4 minutes left. Xavier Cavalia following in the footsteps of her teammate Taylor Purvis, the senior out of Houston, banking one home for the Musketeers. So a 25-point lead for the Providence College Friars over Xavier. If you're Xavier, what do you take from this one?
Well, they're going to have to take something out of this last 4 minutes. They've got to find a way to execute versus the zone. That's one of the things they're going to take. That they need some work on their offensive execution against a 2-3 zone. They need better movement. They need dribble penetration, play a little inside-out game, offensive rebounding, so they have a lot to work on with that. Pretty decent job with the zone press, but Adam, if you're not scoring, you can't get set up in that full court pressure. That has bothered Providence a little bit, but they just haven't scored enough to get set.
Right, even without the made baskets, they're still forcing some turnovers against the Friars, and the Friars defense, on the other hand, they have been outstanding, especially on the interior. The post defense, a season-high 9 block shots for the Friars.
Yeah, there's a great look at the defense. You saw Farrell with the block, Archibald with the block there. Olsen has a couple blocks. They've really had good team defense. They've been able to rotate effectively. They've been able to block out. They've done a nice job communicating. Coach Bath, with that last timeout, she's talking to her group about this execution. How do you close a game out? How do you win a game successfully? They're going to use some clock.
Eddie off the foot of Xavier Cavalia. So 20 on the shot clock as this gets reset for Providence.
Providence will take a layup if they have it early in the shot clock. Otherwise, look for them to use the 30-second clock to their advantage.
McLaughlin getting good run here in the fourth quarter. Starting to build up some of that experience in the latter stages of her freshman campaign. Post shot left short. And a double team jars the ball loose. And that matches the career high. 7 points for Sertat Tata.
Yeah, good job down low. Kept battling.
Traveled by Lopez.
Lopez had the right idea. A little shot fake. Created some space. Just shuffled the feet.
For Lopez, she had 8 quick points in a burst to begin that first quarter. Just one made three-pointer since.
Providence has played great defense. This is not the lowest scoring game they've had. They held Sacred Heart to 35 points earlier this season in a 66-35 win, but it would be the lowest in Big East play.
McLaughlin just rolls out. Possession, Xavier. Well, and the fact that they scored 55 against Butler last time out, 54 against Georgetown. Thrilled with the defense, but I think encouraged by the offense coming alive. Up and under, Scarlett leaves it short, but finishes with the left.
Good move by Scarlett. Providence looking to slow things down.
2 minutes to go, and McLaughlin in search of her first made field goal. She gets to the free throw line where she's been 5 of 8 this season. McLaughlin from Hampton, Maine, and a product of Hampton Academy, 5'6" guard. The two-year team captain and helped her team to a Northern Maine championship as a freshman. Again, opportunities to add some minutes and add some experience for McLaughlin, who has the rebound tipped out to her, and wisely elects to use some more clock. Bandoma, an offensive foul, and a couple of those and turnovers here today.
Yeah, Harris paid the price on that one. Sarah Bandoma had her mind made up, but Harris was in position.
Junior transfer from St. Francis of Brooklyn, part of the All-NEC postseason team last year. A bit of a clunky game for her today, in which a lot of her teammates played particularly well.
Nariah Scott, nice steal.
Takeaway with under 90 seconds left. McLaughlin forces one to Bandoma, and it's a turnover. Lopez, teardrop. Rolls out, and Bandoma with the board.
Good rebound by Bandoma.
Scramble on the floor and a foul.
A little sloppy to close this out.
Eddie that picks up the foul. It's totally clear who it was going to be against, whether Xavier or Providence. But a hard effort by Eddie getting to the floor.
Providence not in the bonus situation. I say Xavier's not in the bonus.
With the win, Providence heads to 12 and 15, including 6 and 8 in Big East play. Xavier winless in Big East play and still in search of a win The only other time this year was Friday, December 15th against SIU Edwardsville. That was a 25-point victory that day. But it's a plucky group under first-year head coach Billy Chambers.
Yeah, Billy Chambers, she's going to get it done there. She said they want to be the team that puts this program back on the map. Xavier, a very proud tradition. They've made 9 NCAA appearances, been to a couple of Elite Eights, but haven't been to an Elite Eight since 2010, haven't been to the tournament since 2011.
Chambers was part of the rebuild at Iona. She said there were some lean years, and it was those years at Iona that encouraged her. How about McLaughlin's first career basket?
Yeah, bench goes crazy.
Yeah.
Crowd goes crazy. She's got a little bit of a smile.
But it was the lean years at Iona that encouraged Chambers that this was a job worth taking and a journey worth embarking on.
Another
Here
look
it
at,
is.
Yeah, another look at McLaughlin. Nice job with the slide dribble.
And an answer at the other end. Mayo puts a bow on this one. A 24-point victory for Providence as they snap a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, great win for Providence. Great answer coming out of the disappointing Butler effort. Coach Bath said we'd been in a rut. I think the Friars got out of that today. We hope to have Coach Bath for an interview after the game. We'll talk about some of that great defensive effort, that balanced scoring, but great effort by Providence.
Tied after one quarter, it was all Friars over the final 30 minutes of this one. We'll be back with more after this. .4-point victory for the Providence College Friars over Xavier here today. Alongside Pam Broker, Adam Giardino with you, and we were joined by the head coach of the Providence College Friars, Aaron Bath. Tied after one quarter, what turned things around for your group after that?
And we've been talking about that quite a bit. If anything we do, I really want to make sure that we I really just want to make sure defensively that we were focused on our assignments, and that's what we started off, preparing for Xavier, and I thought we really did that. But definitely defense.
Your team, all season long, the focus has been on neutralizing turnovers. They had the full court press. How do you think that your team did handling that aspect of the game?
Yeah, at the beginning it was a little bit shaky, but we had a lot of turnovers the first half, maybe 13 if I can remember. But of those 13, 2 were really due from their press. Everything else was us. Okay, yeah. And so we talked about that at halftime, and I thought we did come back the second half and did a much better job. We've been working on bringing the ball up by committee, if you will. We don't really have a true point guard right now, so I'm really proud of our guards helping out with that.
Marta Morales-Romero is one of those guards that she's not the natural point guard. She likes playing off the ball. How would you assess her performance today?
Oh, it's so good. I mean, she, we had a heart-to-heart. Obviously, we're coming off of not so many wins at all for the last 4 games, but she just really has, I got to thank her because it's not her natural position, and it's one of the hardest positions, if not the hardest position to play, and she did a great job today. She led, had her at the 1 and the 2 and some 3, did a great job, even with the language barrier. English is not her first language. And I have a lot of different plays. She's like, huh? I'm like, well, run do you want to run, And so it's been, I just love her. I'm just so proud of her. She did a great job.
Coach, thanks for the time here today. Congrats and good luck at Villanova next.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Go Friars.
All right, that's a wrap from Providence. A 24-point victory for Providence here today. It was led by Olivia Olson, Marta Morales-Romero, and Grace Ifosa. For my broadcast partner, Pam Roker, and our entire crew on the Big East Digital Network, Adam Giardino, signing off. That's your score. That's your final. It was close after 10 minutes, and then the Friars opened it up. Please enjoy the rest of your Sunday from Providence.